morning, good morning, good morning. It's a Monday morning. So, over the weekend, I had some really incredible conversations about story because you are the story. What you're doing is so super powerful and important. And sharing that with the world is really, it's a game changer. Two stories, two stories about story. So I was talking to one of my mentors, and he and his family are going through some really challenging things. His wife has been diagnosed with cancer, and he was seeing in her this change, depression and those kinds of things that were happening, perfectly normal, right? But as a marketer, he thinks about life differently, and he started thinking about story and things that she could look forward to. And he began to talk to her about her story, because her story doesn't have to end. Her story gets to shift, right? And having something, a hope, something to look forward to is super powerful. And then one of my clients, that's story number one. Then one of my clients did her About Me page video. And though she's one of my clients and I knew her story, I didn't know the wealth and breadth of her story. And it was so powerful. It was something that was so incredibly amazing that it brought tears to my eyes, because it was that impactful. So those two things. The first one with my mentor and what his family is going through. It's having a hope, right? What's your hope? What is your hope? What is the story that you're telling yourself? And how does that story get to shift? How does that story get to change? Because life is all about the stories that we tell ourselves. What's the story that you're telling yourself? What's that look like for you, right? Are you telling yourself a story that your art is going to be famous 500 years after you're gone? Somebody's going to find it and say, oh my gosh, look at this, how incredible it is. Or are you going to tell yourself a story that today you're making an impact? Today, your art is something that is really super powerful. And getting your About Me page video done is like, oh my gosh, game changing. I mean, I work with this client really closely, and yet seeing the power of her story and what that looked like. She was so vulnerable, so open in her About Me video. So what are you willing to do? Are you willing to tell yourself a completely different story? What's the story of your art? What's that look like for you? So, change your story, change your life. Go out there and create something really beautiful, and I'll see you tomorrow.